This journey with the barbell has been one of the best experiences of my life when it comes to fitness and performance. The barbell will beat you up. It'll tell you you're a piece of shit. It's the ultimate truth teller. You either conquer it or it conquers you. The inanimate object that we call the barbell, I'm falling in love with. Now, you may be one of those people if you happen to watch one of these videos, especially if you're watching front squats, because fucking front squats suck. I fucking hate them. Motherfucking squats. Front squats. I hate them. I hate them less now because I've had an incredible breakthrough, which I want to share with you. This is specific to the front rack position, which you see in this video here. Olympic style front squat. As you begin to lower the bar, you thrust your elbows up as high and as hard as you descend. That is basically in a nutshell. Now, you may know this, and if you have, I wish I found it sooner, because I didn't learn this until I started actually doing a lot more front squats, like we did some every minute on the minute work, because the reality is my skill on front squats is very bad, that I can do a lot of singles. It almost doesn't matter what the weight is. The problem I'm having is being able to maintain that upright position, because the bar will just slide down my arms. But what I learned is that the common cue, elbows up, which I've heard before, but when you're inflexible and have poor mobility like me, aka the broken leopard, the phrase elbows up has very little meaning. And it's hard to comprehend sometimes. It's actually hard to comprehend, period, if you've never been in it. It's really hard to do when you've had very little experience in the position, the front rack position. However, if your front rack squats sucks, your front rack sucks just as much as mine does, there's one way you can use the elbows up cue. Keep your elbows up in the same relative position as you begin to descend, which is basically elbows up. It may sound simple and it sounds obvious, but if you have the same problem I have, if you try to keep your elbows in the same position as you look in a mirror, you might be able to stay upright for a split second longer, which can be the difference between holding the bar or dumping the bar, which means you can't front squat slow. If I front squat too slow with heavy weight, I'm not going to make it. And when I say this, when you look at the mirror, you're trying to keep the elbows in the same position relative to where you're looking at. That basically means that your body's moving away from your elbow just a little bit. Now, I typically like heavy squatting away from a mirror, not in front of a mirror. But my circumstances set me up for being in front of a mirror, and this is what I learned. While facing the mirror, I tried to focus on keeping my elbows in the same relative position in the mirror. It feels like you're flexing your lats forward. It's not really flexing, it's really more like it's stretching. Shoving the bar into your throat with a little bit medium force, using the initiation of the descent to allow your elbows to move up slightly. Two things do this. The bar shoving into your throat, which is sort of a cue that knows that you're keeping your elbows higher. You're stretching your forearms more. And then you're also getting a little bit of a second, half a second, maybe a quarter of a second, to have your body, your physical body, like your shoulders, actually physically move away from the bar just a tiny bit. Not even really move away. There's less pressure on the bar simply because you lower your body quickly. When you lower your body fast enough, what will happen is the bar's pressure on your back will decrease when the weight is light, like I'm squatting. And this is a great way for me to learn, because it's one of the hardest things to do. And that hard thing to do is stay upright. And if you suck at staying upright, there's a good chance that you're probably a good deadlifter. Because for whatever reason, the deadlift position is a very natural position for me. It's very easy for me to pull heavy weights off the ground for lots of reps for heavy weight. And as I build strength, I'm getting better at it. But it's taking away from my ability to stay upright. And one thing I do want to get better at is Olympic weightlifting, or something I want to move into later into the future. As I get closer to the 600 pound and eventually over 600 to 700 pound deadlift, I want to be able to build myself up in such a way where I can do whatever the hell I want. And I just love the barbell. And I hope that you get something out of this video, because maybe you are just someone that just loves to learn, and you love to get stronger, and you just love training. One of the best things I've learned when you get passionate about a goal is you just watch other people train, and that might be one of the reasons why you're watching this video. And that's what I do too. I watch other people work out, and whatever they're trying to do, essentially, if I'm really focused on my deadlift, I'll be watching a lot of deadlift videos. I'll follow along other power lifters, If I want to get better at cleans, I'll watch a lot of cleans. Because what happens a lot of the time, if you watch a lot of people lift, really good lifters anyway, you'll be able to pick up some of those habits, sort of almost through osmosis, and you kind of get it almost by accident. It's sort of like it just kind of happens because you see someone do it. I mean, I have kids. I have 2 kids with 1 on the way, and it's sort of interesting how, like, me and my son, we do some powerlifting or Olympic lifting in the garage. Just really light weights. I have him a 5 kg Rogue barbell. Was it Clint Darden called it the wrong barbell? Talking shit about Rogue, but anyways, he was comparing. Kind of a side note. It's he was making fun of how the wrong, aka Rogue barbell, was in comparison to a Eleiko barbell. Now, don't get me wrong, I want an Eleiko barbell so bad, but you just can't compare a $1,300 barbell to a $200 barbell. I mean, it's comparing a Ferrari to a Toyota Celica or whatever. But anyways, getting back to what I was saying about my son, we were doing Olympic weightlifting in our garage. He has a 5 kilogram bar, and he does snatches and he does clean and jerks. I do the same thing, and as we kind of train and we have fun, he does some reps, I do some reps. We just take turns back and forth. It's kind of a way for me and my son to bond and work out and do something that I really love. I'm not very good at any like ball sports like baseball, basketball, football, nor do I really like enjoying them doing them a whole lot. I do love weightlifting, so that's the reason why I got him a bar, so we can train together. So I would be doing like clean and jerk, you know, power clean and jerk, like doubles and triples, and sometimes I'll go like from the ground, and then I'll do another complex where I just go from a hang, and then I'll go from a high hang, and he essentially will try to copy me. And it's kind of funny because he's getting better as he watches me, because he's trying to mimic what I'm doing, and it's kind of how we learn. You know, you don't really get, when you're born, you're not really taught a language. You just learn it. You know, sometimes you're taught it, of course you're taught it, but most of it's learned through listening and kind of trying to figure out things in your own mind. This is kind of how weightlifting is designed too. Think about if you were able to start weightlifting, powerlifting, strength training when you were 6 years old, 7 years old like my son. If he decides to continue with this later in life, he's going to be fantastic. I didn't start barbell lifting seriously until I was like 20. Until I was 30, actually. It's kind of crazy. I'm sure I did bench press, but they were all half reps. And I never really learned the right way to do it until now. So anyways, just sharing my journey. If you made it to this point, I want to thank you, because you are one of those people that, for whatever reason, loves this shit as much as I do. Anyways, thanks for hanging out. Click like if you haven't already. Check the blog posts based on this particular video, and I'll see you guys in the next video.